Hey, it's Rachel from Hope Corner Farm, and today we're going to learn how to make this large crochet flower. This is a great accent piece for a headband or a hat or many other crocheted projects that you create. So let's get started. By day, I'm a home ec teacher who teaches hundreds of students how to crochet, quilt, sew, and cook, and we're going to get started with our large crochet flower. To begin, you're going to need a J crochet hook, which is 6.0 millimeters. You're going to need a yarn needle, some scissors, and some medium weight yarn. Before we get going, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notifications for when I post new videos. To begin, we need to start with a magic circle. If you need to see this in slower motion and more detail, you can check out my description below where I have included a video that tells you how to make a magic circle. So we're going to come and we're going to chain one for this magic circle. Now into the ring, I'm going to place 6 single crochets. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I need to tighten my magic ring. So I'm going to tighten that. And then I'm going to slip stitch to this space right here. It's the top of the chain 1. We're going to slip stitch to complete that first round. Now we're ready to go on to round 2. For round 2, I begin by chaining 1. Now into this space right here, I'm going to place 3 double crochets. So there is 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to slip stitch all into that same space. That creates our first petal. Now we're going to go to the next stitch. We're going to single crochet, chain 1, place 3 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch into that same space. That creates our second petal. We're going to keep repeating this same pattern in each stitch all the way around. So now we have 5 petals. We need to make 1 more right here in this stitch. So we're going to single crochet, chain 1, 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and slip stitch all in the same spot. So now you can see that I've completed round 2 and that I have 6 petals for my flower. Now we're ready to move on to round 3. Round 3 is actually going to be worked on the back side of this flower. So what we need to do to begin is chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to come to the back side of this flower, and we're actually going to slip stitch around that slip stitch from the first round. So you can see where we're going right here is what we're going to slip stitch around. So we're just going to pop our crochet hook around that, and we're going to slip stitch right there. Now we're going to chain 3. We're going to go to the next slip stitch right there. We're just going to pop our hook right through and slip stitch around that slip stitch. So you can see on the back we're starting to get these chain 3 spaces right there. And that's what we're going to work our next row of petals into. So we're going to keep repeating chain 3 and slip stitch all the way around here. So we're going to speed it up just a hair. Now we're ready to make the last chain 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now this one's a little different. We're simply going to slip stitch into this first chain that we made. So we're going to go right here and slip stitch. So now if we look at the back side of our flower, you should see 6 different chain 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we are going to work each of our next row's petals into those chain 3 spaces. To begin round 4, we need to basically start working right into those chain 3 spaces on the back side. So we're going to come right here, and in this first space, I'm going to then place a single crochet, a chain 1, and then 4 double crochets this time. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to chain 1 and slip stitch, all in that same chain 3 space. So you can see it creates a little bit bigger petal on the back side of our first petal. So we're going to repeat in the next chain 3 space. We're going to single crochet, chain 1, 4 double crochets, chain 1, and slip stitch. We're going to keep on doing that all the way around, so I'm going to speed it up here. All right, so now we're ready to place our last petal here in this last chain 3. So again, single crochet, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, slip stitch, and that completes round 4. So you can see we've got 2 rows of petals going on now. So round 5, we're working towards the back side again. So this time we need to chain 4. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come and we're going to find yet again that slip stitch here. And we're just going to go right around it and slip stitch here. Chain 4. Then find the slip stitch and go right around it and slip stitch and chain 4. We're going to keep on doing this all the way around. So now that we have our last chain 4 here, again, we're going to slip stitch right to this first chain 1, the first chain of our chain 4, sorry. And so again, if you look at the back side, you can see I've got 6 chain 4 spaces, and that's what we're going to work our next row of petals into. Okay, we're ready for round 6. So again, we're going to work into these chain 4 spaces behind our previous 2 rows. So we're going to single crochet, chain 1, and then we are going to place 5 double crochets now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, and then slip stitch. And that completes 1 petal. So we're going to repeat this 5 more times all the way around here. So we'll speed it up. Now we're all the way around, ready to go into the last chain 4, and just like the previous, single crochet, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, and then slip stitch. You can see now we have 3 rows of petals, and that completes round 6. So this time we're going to chain 5 for round 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yet again, we're going to come and find that little slip stitch, and we're just going to slip stitch right around it. So now for the last one, after we've chained 5, we come and we slip stitch right into that first chain of the first chain 5. And again on the back, you can see there should be 6 chain 5 spaces where we'll work our next row of petals. For round 8, we're again going to work into these chain 5 spaces here. So we're going to place a single crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to put 6 double crochets into each space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 1, and slip stitch. Go into the next one and repeat. We go single crochet, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to chain 1 and slip stitch. We're going to repeat. So into the last chain 5 space, again single crochet, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 1 and slip stitch. And that completes round 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of petals. We have one more round to go. We need to chain 6 this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And just like in previous rounds, we find that stitch and we're going to slip stitch around it. Chain 6 and slip stitch is what we're going to repeat for the entire way around. So we've completed our last chain 6, and we're going to go right here into this first chain 1 and slip stitch. Now we're ready to move on to the very last round. If you look at the back side again, we have chain 6 spaces on the back, and that's where we're going to work our last row of petals into. So for the first one, we're going to go into this first chain 6 spot. We're going to single crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to place 7 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we're going to chain 1 and we're going to slip stitch. So single crochet, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 1, slip stitch, and we're just going to repeat. So we're to our last spot, so single crochet, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 1, slip stitch, and then the only thing different we're going to do here is we're going to slip stitch right here into this first slip stitch to completely finish off our flower. I'm going to grab my scissors, I'm going to cut my yarn, and then I'm going to finish off simply by going like this. And then I can either weave in my tails, or I leave them attached and then I use that yarn that's still attached to sew this flower onto a headband or a hat or something like that. And that completes the large crochet flower. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notifications for when I post new videos. I hope you guys have a blessed day.